Welcome to the Big Four Accounting Firms podcast, brought to you by big4accountingfirms.com. In today's podcast, I wanted to discuss KPMG's results for the UK. And the reason it's pretty important is because they released their average partner pay or their partner distributions. And this was the last Big Four accounting firm to release this information. And that's why the KPMG CEO yesterday said all the stuff that he talked about all the controversies coming up. But KPMG had record results around the world and really good results in the UK. And the biggest reason they did so well in the UK, they had 10% revenue growth, rising from £2.14 billion to £2.35 billion. And so the reason it was so good is because of their deal advisory practice. The deal advisory practice is which deals with, M&A and stuff and mergers and acquisitions. It grew by 31% from 273 million to 357 million. Their next fastest growing practice was consulting, which went from 574 to 646 million. And another reason they had a good year was they sold that their restructuring and pension business, and they got 300 million pounds from that, and they say they're going to invest that in the long-term growth of the firm. So they had some really good results this year, and that's why their partner pay was also a record. It's 688,000, or I'm not sure if it's a record if it beats the pre-pandemic level. We'll have to check that, but they're the last accounting firm to release their partner pay for 2021, and it increased a lot from the prior year. It was 572,000 pounds last year, and it's 688,000 pounds this year. Seems like a lot, but when you compare it to the other firms, it's not as much. EY, they get 749,000 pounds, PwC 868,000 pounds, and at Deloitte they get 1 million pounds on average per partner. And another reason John Holt might think that he's the man to continue forward as the chief executive of KPMG UK is because he made £1.7 million pounds last year. The chair of KPMG UK received 879,000 pounds. And so KPMG partners did really well. And so do the employees. The employees get bonuses out of a $100 million bonus pool. And as we all know, KPMG did mid-year raises as well. And so, or I'm sure that they'll be doing the bonuses out of this. So I'm not sure if KPMG UK did the bonuses. We'll have to confirm that, the mid-year raises, I mean. But as we see here, the KPMG partners did really well. And we'll have to see with all these controversies with KPMG UK that we spoke about, whether next year will also be a record year. And we're going to speak more about that probably next week, about some of these controversies that KPMG has. But this year they did really well. And with also the economy around the world not looking too good, we'll have to see how M&A goes. A lot of companies have spare cash on their balance sheets, but I think companies might be a little bit more tenuous before spending that on M&A over the next year, or on M&A or consulting. So we'll just have to see how this keeps going in the future year. The Big Four also have cash because otherwise they wouldn't be paying out these mid-year raises. But I think it's also as a result of turnover. So I think the Big Four accounting firms can continue to pay people well, even during a downturn, just because of less employees. And they know it's less employees and it's a soft job market. So in order to keep the people that they currently have, they want to motivate them to stay as much as possible. So I'm not sure that the pay of Big Four employees is going to go down, or I think the job market for Big Four accountants is as strong as it ever was, and especially after these results, KPMG just keeps on. The Big Four accounting firms proves that this is a great industry, Less people want to do it, so it's a strong job market for Big Four accountants. Even if the economy doesn't do well this next year, I think it's still going to be a good job market for the Big Four accounting firms just because of the Great Resignation, the pandemic, everything. I think the potential for Big Four accounts is still great. But that's the update for today. We have the final Big Four Partner Pay. We'll put a link to the page where we keep track of that every year so that you can take a look at that. And that'll be in the show notes. And make sure to check out the show notes for other useful links. Thanks for listening.